That sucks. All right. That's a little bit of the Maritimer for you. Get you a little bit of band. One of these days I'll learn how to play this thing. So today we got quite the decode for you. And I'm going to lay it out all here on this table for you. So this is a big deal. No one that I know has shown this. No one's seen it, except for the few people that I have shown. And today is the day that I'm finally going to make a video to decode this. This is common, everyday currencies, right? I got our coins. I got our dollars. I'm most interested in the dollar itself. All right. I'm also going to need the $20 bill for this. Right there. And then these other bills are for another time. I believe there's a drawer here with some more bills. So I'm taking this $5 bill here. I've got a dollar bill and I've got a $20 bill. All right. Now the magic happens when we start to put these bills together and we start to build a thing. Okay? $5 bill, it's undergone a change in the print, but the back is generally the same as what it was originally. I don't think the monument has changed size. So it's the only building on the back of the bills that actually has a flat top. So I guess we could think about the Beatles, flat top. Or was that John Lennon? I'm not sure, but here comes old flat top, right? So the deal with this is I make folds on this bill. All right. First off, I'm going to go into a description of the dollar here, right? On the front, you've got George Washington. This around it here is the omega symbol. Let me see. There we go. So this is what we've got. I want you all to be able to see this. All right. That's the omega symbol right here. George Washington was the alpha. And so you've got the alpha and omega on the front of the dollar bill. You got some other weird stuff going on. I don't know that we're going to go into everything here. Okay? A lot of credit I'm going to give to a guy named Michael Fazio. He put out a video on YouTube about the dollar bill. And there you go, 666. Huh. So, and he went into great detail of all the encrypted images that can be seen on this bill. But it's a credit to him that I was told that these here at the top and the bottom, right? I should flip this around for you guys. Okay? That's a great seal. But here and here, those are the shittim poles. S-H-I-T-T-I-M. Those were used for carrying the Ark of the Covenant. All right, people weren't allowed to touch it, they'd die. And so to transport it, they had to carry it with these shittim poles for transportation. The Great Seal, here and here, okay? These represent the cherubim, the place for the cherubim whom carry the Ark of the Covenant, okay? So here we go. Get ready, okay? So, but Michael Fazio is the one that told me about the shittim poles. And then I, over the years, through some work of the Holy Spirit, I believe, was able to find this code. So when I fold the $5 bill here, I've got one here, right? Down to just the size of the building, right? Now, some of you might notice that it looks like a Jeep, the front of a Jeep, okay? That's true. Right? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's for the 12 tribes of Israel and for the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ. And now inside here, we've got Abraham Lincoln. And he's sitting on that chair in the Lincoln Memorial. It's that giant seat, that giant superhuman sculpture of Abraham Lincoln in that chair in the Lincoln Memorial. So he's the 13th. So you got the 12 tribes with the 12 disciples, and now you got Abraham Lincoln on this chair. He's on the mercy seat, okay? The Lincoln Memorial is actually the Ark of the Covenant, okay? These builders, these Masons, right? Scottish Rite Freemasons who helped encode and, So, anyways, they're into the Temple of Solomon, and key to the Temple of Solomon is the Ark of the Covenant. So I told you needed the shittim poles to carry the Ark of the Covenant. And so there you go. See how it fits in the space where it says, "In God we trust." And then it says 1. And then this $5 bill, Lincoln Memorial, once I trim it down to size, becomes the Ark of the Covenant. That the 10 Commandments, which the United States law is founded on the Mosaic law, the 10 Commandments, and right, Jesus was the seed of Abraham, okay? And that's Abraham Lincoln. And so all those things were put inside the ark, the 10 Commandments, the budding rod of Aaron, and some of the manna, which was the bread, right, that they had in the wilderness, and they put that inside the ark. So that's what Abraham Lincoln represents there, okay? Now, getting on to the slaves, the pyramid here, there's other codes, but I'm showing you the stuff that nobody else knows. Because if they did, I'd have seen the video by now. This represents slavery, okay? Egypt is bondage and slavery. That's why it's a pyramid, okay? Anuit Coeptos, announcing the birth of a new world order. And then this here, there's a Star of David up here, right? With the 13 stars for the colonies, for Jesus and the 12 disciples, and for God and the 12 tribes, I imagine, somehow. And then, right? So, you got the glory. Anyways, this represents the promised land and freedom. So you got bondage, slavery, Egypt, and then you've got the promised land, and you've got freedom. And like I said, that's what Abraham Lincoln did. He freed the slaves. So now you really do got the front of a Jeep with the 2 headlights and the grill, okay? But it gets deeper. way deeper, guys. And this is way new to me. I just discovered it a couple days ago because it was time, right? So 50-cent pieces here, right? JFK. JFK and Abraham Lincoln both got something in common, and that's that they were shot in the head and killed. So JFK, I want to show you the 50-cent piece, is the perfect size, guys. The perfect size for a fit inside the Great Seal of the United States of America. All right? You remember the Benjamin Franklin glasses and the National Treasure? That's what this is. Okay? And it's deep. This is deep. So now JFK becomes the two cherubim. So look, right? On the back side, it's the eagles, right? Clearly, the eagle is the same, right? It goes there. And I can put it there, and so the wings, the covering cherubim of the Ark of the Covenant have wings, like angels, right? Because they're angels. But they also have faces like men. Okay? See that? Alright. Now, that's pretty deep, guys. That's really, really deep. And when I do this, right, and I uncover that, I've got one eye on JFK showing, and I've got the one eye of the pyramid here. And I've got two eyes showing. Now, I've got one eye shut, and now I got two eyes shut, covered by the wings, right? The cherubim. Get it? All right. I hope you got it. Now we're going to put the little Ark of the Covenant back in its place, because no one can touch it, because if they do, they'll die. And so the angels, right? Here they are. Now, the thing is, you'll see this picture in Scottish Rite Freemasonry and on certain flags in the world, this two-headed eagle. And that's what we've got a picture of here. All right? But also in Scottish Rite Freemasonry, there's a triangle that's on the top. Right? And, you know, I'll get you a bird to put up there for now. That's like a bird. There's a dollar bill. Gerald R. Ford, I believe. And the eagle on the moon. Right? So, in the book of 2 Esdras, I can't remember the verse, but I'm going to find out here real quick. It talks about this two-headed eagle and then this three-headed eagle, but the head in the middle was asleep, and the two heads were bickering about, and then a lamb ended up coming in, right, and taking care of this whole matter. Now, there was some dispute between these eagles, and I don't know, somebody got devoured, but you have to read 2 Esdras to know exactly what happened. But this is the symbol for the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. And so the silver dollar, I have a beautiful one here. That's a real silver round, and that's a liberty. And when we put it on top, right, so the mercy seat, which is a picture of Jesus Christ going to the tomb for us, to free us, right, is the seat of God. So when it sat in the temple, the Spirit of God resided on that seat. Okay? Check that out. Just like that. And the silver represents the moon, and believe it, the gold dollar represents the sun, guys. Okay? Now, I had a $20 bill here, right? And that's going to come into play. Because I told you this thing had to sit in the temple, right? And you got the $20 bill. You got the front porch, and then you've got the east wing and the west wing, or whichever's which, right? So let me tell you, You fold it at the corners of the porch, and the porch becomes the front of the building, and each wing becomes a side, and you can do something in the back to make a back, but it's kind of invisible, and that becomes the temple of Solomon, or the second temple, or whatever, right? And check this out, this $5 bill that I folded, because you have to check these things, is the perfect size to sit inside the temple, which is where the Ark of the Covenant was stashed, right? So you put the Ark of the Covenant here. I'll do it like this, right? We'll fold it up inside the temple because, you know, it's hard to get it to stand up. And we'll put it here, okay? Now it's in the temple. However you want that to face, okay? And now, when I flip this coin over here, JFK is facing the left, or my right now, right? Your left, my right, and he's facing the temple. And so John F. Kennedy becomes our high priest, okay, on the back of the dollar, right? And this is key because this ties into like biblical prophecy, guys, because it's talked about the beast and he goes into the temple, right? And it talks about a mortal head wound, right? Because he declares himself to be God or whatever, and he suffers a mortal head wound, right? Remember, Abraham Lincoln had a mortal head wound. JFK had a mortal head wound, right? And now it's depicting, and has for a long time, that this stuff is no coincidence. See the coins? Coincidence, right? And he comes in and he gets the hammer, right? Crazy. So, to further this out, I forgot to show you, right? The quarters used to have eagles on the back, and the Bible talks about the throne of God, right? I don't have another eagle right here. Having 4 creatures around it. So here we go. See it? Look at it. Now we got a reference to the group, the Eagles, and the Hotel California, because they stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. And see? The Spirit of God, the covering cherubims, and the 4 creatures around the throne. And then this becomes, right? The beast. These 2 guys, the mortal head wound. The 3rd temple, right? I would say the fact that I'm showing you all this stuff is really significant. And the day and the time that we're in. And I've been seeing a lot of 6s the last few days. I just got back on Twitter from an 18-day suspension. That's 6 plus 6 plus 6. I saw 666 on a license plate this morning. And 2 days ago at Home Depot buying light bulbs, my change was $6.66, and you see the 666. And how can I, Anyways, I could, but I didn't. And then on the front, right, quick decode for you. It decodes with the quarters. You get a Vesica Pisces. You get the number 8, right? You can put the eagle there. You can do the George Washington, right? And then it works with the Susan B. Anthony, and it works with Pocahontas. And so now, right? And then look, check it out. This is pretty cool. John F. Kennedy becomes the patriarch, and Susan B. Anthony becomes the matriarch. we get the Vesica Pisces again, we get the daughter, and we get the grandchild. So you got a family unit here. And then your dimes, right? If you look at these ones at the bottom, they fit the dimes, which I think represents Mercury, the Mercurius, who was the voice of the heavens, right? And then the nickel goes in the space on the top, right? I guess you can do it like that. And then the new nickels offset Jefferson's face. And I'm sure you've seen or heard of the movie Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Well, Thomas Jefferson's face is about the same size as Abraham Lincoln or George Washington here, and it goes and matches right up into the hairline like a mask, and George Washington becomes Thomas Jefferson. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they did it. It's a code. It's something about a mask and a covering. Maybe that ties into COVID and the mask and the cherubim on the back. Obviously, the quarter goes with the dollar because they both feature George Washington. So to recap, the $5 bill, the Lincoln Memorial, is the Ark of the Covenant. Abraham Lincoln is sitting on the mercy seat. And the two cherubim are in charge of the mercy seat and covering, right, the Shekinah of God, right, the Spirit of God. So it's all laid out here, man. You know, I got books with the temple. I was going to show you, but this took so long. Hopefully, if anybody, you should just look at the temple, look at the Ark of the Covenant, and, you know, everything I'm telling you is true of anybody who knows anything about that stuff. And then now we got this Indian head nickel, which is part of our story. And I think that's coming up, guys. Anyhow, Patriot Quarter. And there'll be a quarter decode coming up because all of our quarters are coded. And I have been sorting through my quarters and I found some themes. And I think if I was able to figure this out, I think I'm going to nail that. And we're going to see where that leads us. But I think there's more to this. You should check out Michael Fazio's work. It is the something about, I can't even say the title. It's so ridiculous, but you'll find him. And Michael Fazio, he wrote a book. He says there's 3,000 images hidden on here. I've spent a lot of hours studying this bill, folding it in different ways. I found a lot more stuff than this that I have not revealed here, but it just reinforces what I'm showing you. I mean, you know, these fields, the way they are, they fit, the way the coins fit in these fields. There's folds you can do on the back. These, right, that's the bulls, bull heads. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here. Other people have done decodes on this, but as far as I know, no one I've ever seen has covered this. I'm the first person, as far as I know. I would imagine other people have got to know this, but I don't know who those people would be. So next time we'll do a little bit on the $2 bill, but for now this is done. It's a wrap, guys, like a tortilla, burrito or something.